Okay, hi. Let's talk a little bit more about what chemistry is going to look like in terms of how we're taking this class. Okay, so first I'm going to give you like a quick little introduction to the class. I'll tell you what like physical materials you'll need, and then what tech resources you'll have and how to use them. So, what to expect from this class? So the way that I'm going to run my class is what like the technical term for it is going to be synchronous. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that every day we're going to do the same activities at the same time, whether you're at home or in school. So your remote day isn't going to look different than your in-person day, or if you're a flex student that's home all the time, like you're just going to do class the way that everybody else is going to do class. I do that in terms of equity, so everybody gets the same opportunity, everybody has the same instructions at the same time. So don't think that you're going to be like, well, today's my at home day, so I'm going to do this thing, and then when I'm in school I'm going to be doing this thing. And nope, every day is going to look the same to every student, no matter where you physically are. Okay. More specifically, what about like what can you expect from the class itself? It's abstract and mathematical. So chemistry happens at a level we can't even see, right? You might be able to like see something happening with a chemical reaction, but the actual chemistry of what's happening, we can't see. So much of what we study is just stuff that's going to be measured. Like we're going to measure a temperature change or a volume change, or just a mass change. Anything that might happen in that chemical reaction, we're going to measure it, and then we're probably going to do some calculations with it. So it is we're going to get really detailed about the abstract concepts, and we're also going to measure it, calculate it, all that stuff. So that being said, it's also very fun and interesting. You're going to see like a lot of weird stuff happen. You're going to see cool stuff happen. And in my opinion, I think chemistry is really cool because it does explain what's going on in the world around us that we don't even see, but it's happening all the time. So I think that that's pretty cool. So what are you going to need to be successful in the class? You need a notebook, and you need it ASAP. Okay, so what do I mean by a notebook is I do not mean a spiral notebook. Okay, spiral notebook is not going to be okay for this class. You have to have a notebook, and the reason why I choose composition notebook, like something like this, is because it has 100 sheets in it, or 200 pages. So that's what's the important detail about what your chemistry notebook looks like. And that's why those spirals are not going to cut it. Most of them are 70 or 80 pages, and you're going to just run out of space, honestly. Some teachers tell you you need a composition notebook, and then you end up using 10 pages of it. Oh no, that is not this class. You will fill this bad boy up. So you want to make sure that you have composition notebook as soon as possible. They're only $1, so it shouldn't be hard for you guys to get one. I'm starting notes on Thursday, so I'm gonna like say, hey, if you have one, here's how we're gonna start doing our notes in our notebook. But I'm not gonna make everybody absolutely have one until 1 week from now, on Monday. So that gives you a whole week to get one. The sooner the better, okay? I also ask you guys to get colored pencils or pens. I don't care if you're like, I'm not a colored pencil person, but I can use colored pens, that's fine, or vice versa. But you will need some sort of color distinguishment in your notebook, okay? We're going to deal with lots of different categorizations. We're going to be dealing with abstract concepts, like I said. So being able to like color code even your periodic table is going to be very important. Being able to use color to see different pieces of a molecule, to be able to see different steps of a mathematical equation. These are all really important things to have color in your notebook for. So please have some kind of colored pencil, or like I said, they can be colored pens. In fact, like the notes that I'm going to do are going to use colored pens because I like pens better. And then also a scientific calculator. So do you have to run out and get one of those like $100 calculators? No, that's not necessary for this class. If you have one, like one of the TI, gosh, what are they? TI-83s or TI-84s, you have one of these already, cool, you're covered. Like that's going to be just fine for you. But you only need one that has, the reason why it's considered scientific calculator is if you can see on this little screen right here, it has an EE button. We're going to be using scientific notation with our calculations. So we are going to need a scientific calculator to handle those really big and really small numbers. Okay? Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about some tech resources. So you guys already are pretty familiar with Google Classroom. I'm going to quick run through like how do I use the Google Classroom, and then I really want to spend a lot of time talking about why my virtual classroom is actually very important for this class, and you should be using it on a daily basis. So if you go to Google Classroom, okay, hold on, let me make sure that you guys are on this tab now. Okay. If you're in your Google Classroom, I just want to give you like a quick rundown of like, okay, I will give you guys announcements here. So if I put an announcement here, that's usually just something for you guys to know. It's not usually an assignment or anything like that. It's just like, hey, just to let you guys know, yada, 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 yada. What you want to pay attention to is definitely going to be your classwork, obviously. So anytime I even have like a video like this, for example, this one's going to come along with an assignment. It's going to be something that's not necessarily posted on Google Classroom. So you're not going to have something that you need to say that you did for this video. You're just going to click mark as done. Okay. And that will just tell me that you did what I asked you to do in this video. I haven't asked you to do that yet, so hang tight before you click on that, okay? So the second thing I was gonna show you, like I promised, was your virtual classroom. So I give you this link in the post, so please go ahead and click on that link and get to your virtual classroom. Okay, I'm going to kind of tell you why this classroom is really helpful for you and how we're going to be using it every day. So I have in here a couple of different like hyperlinks on some of the physical items in the class. For example, this clock, if you click on it, is going to give you a link to our hybrid schedule. So if you are, especially because today's day one, right? If you're like, well, today's schedule is a little different, but you're back here on Thursday and you're thinking, oh, how long is this class? When's lunch? When's 6 block or whatever? If you click on this clock, it's going to take you to a hybrid schedule. So you'll always have access to that. Then the other important things and things I want to go through with you guys are going to be your unit plan, your notes, the YouTube channel, and then all these like things on the bookshelf over here. And I'll go through the bookshelf things in a little bit. But first of all, this unit plan is going to be very important. So if you click on your unit plan, hold on, let's see. I got to switch over to this tab. It's really very useful to you because it's got a schedule for you. What are the topics we're going to cover within this unit? When are the quizzes? How are the quizzes going to be graded? And you get like some review materials and or retake work, when are the retakes, etc. So all the information that you need to know about like the course progression and your grades in that course are kind of going to be in your unit plan. So you can see today we're going through the syllabus and the tech and stuff like that. And then tomorrow you guys are going to start talking about careers in chemistry. Our unit really kind of starts on Thursday when we talk about accuracy and precision. When we talk about SI units, we're going to talk about the metric system, scientific notation, using scientific calculators. We're going to start some conversions next week. You'll have a conversions quiz on Friday, etc. And you can see that I've highlighted whenever your quizzes are going to be. Now, this could change. This is all subject to change, but the good thing is if I decide like, actually, we're going to move this quiz up or we're going to move this quiz back, this page gets updated in live time. So as soon as I change it, it's reflected in this page. So, and then of course, I'll let you know in class as well. But you can see here, like, what are the grades for the unit? These are the graded assignments you're going to have over the course of the next 4 weeks. And then you can see which science practice it's going to be graded under. Because we have standards-based grading, you guys are basically going to have 8 categories for your grade, which are going to be the 8 science practices. And then you can tell from the unit plan which science practice the quiz will fall under. I'll talk about this more when we get to the syllabus video, which is the next one. But I'm just letting you know that it's good information for you guys here. These dates need to be updated because these are from last quarter. But it says I'll update when the quiz was or is going to be, and then what pages in your notebook it's going to cover. And then I also will link to you the retake work. So if you take this quiz next Friday, you feel like first of all, you could start to study for the quiz by studying the particular pages of your notebook that I highlight. But if you still don't do very well on it, you are able to click on this link for the retake work, complete the retake work, and you can do a retake on the quiz. So everything you need for the quizzes are all right here in this unit plan, which is what makes it a pretty helpful resource for you. So going back to your virtual classroom, the other things I want to show you, the other links that I want to show you are going to be, this one is very important, the notes link. If you click on this notes link, everything's there from last quarter actually, but you should see that we've got, if you click on it, it shows you that there are 4 different units. Let me see, I'm going to show you guys this one. There are 4 different units: the matter and measurement, atomic structure, periodic table, chemical bonding. So whatever unit you're in, all your notes are embedded here. So we're in the matter and measurement notes. So what you're going to see is, oh, and this is a little bit out of order. That's weird. But like, this is what page 1 of your notebook will look like when we get there. You've got an image of what your notebook notes should look like. So if you're absent and you need to catch up on page 1, page 2, page 3, everything's right here for you. You're going to be able to catch up on notes, and or if you're somebody who doesn't like studying your own notes, like you're just like, Miss Lewis has way better handwriting than I do, which I probably don't, but if that happens to be the case, you can come back here and catch up on or study any of the notes that you need to for any upcoming quizzes. And everything's pretty well labeled for you guys. I don't know why page 5 AB is first. I'll have to mess with that. But hopefully that's really helpful to you, so you can see where all your notes should be for the rest of the year if you're absent or anything like that. Okay, getting back to the virtual classroom. The other links that are going to be really important to you are going to be all the things that are on this bookshelf here. You've got a calculator, so if you can't go out and get a scientific calculator, you can use this calculator. I highly suggest that you get a real calculator because calculators are blocked when we do quizzes. So you want to have like a physical calculator with you. This is also, we're going to be using a lot of Pearson Realize in this course, just like you may have done in your biology course. But if that doesn't sound familiar with you or to you, don't stress. I will give you guys a lot more information about that tomorrow because we're going to be working on Pearson Realize tomorrow. This link right here, the one that says PhET, that is how you are going to be doing labs. So I have a couple labs that are not on PhET, but most of them are on PhET. Anytime you have a PhET assignment, it is a lab. And then this symbol right here is the Khan Academy symbol. So I use Khan Academy more so at the end of the semester and second semester. But if you ever are confused about a concept or unclear of something, Khan Academy does everything that we do in class. So if I just explain something to you that doesn't make sense, or you're like, I just need one more explanation of it, you can always go to Khan Academy and there's videos of literally everything we do. Also, if you have the means to do so, please click on this notebook periodic table. The notebook periodic table should be the one that you maybe even have your own bookmark to. If you'd like to have like certain bookmarks, I like to just bookmark the virtual classroom and click on this every time that we run class. But this is one that I would, if you can print it out, do so. And it's going to go in the front of your notebook, or it's just going to be your reference periodic table for the rest of the year. This is the one that I give you for quizzes. This is the one I give you for tests. This is the one that is going to be used throughout the rest of the year. So this one's important. And then the one that is The fancier looking periodic table is the one that is kind of just a little bit more information for you guys. So the resource that I want to show you right now that you're going to start using for your like do now every day, you're going to be using it for your practices every time we have practices, and you're going to be using it if you have a quiz, is going to be this one right here that's called Socrative. So click on Socrative, and or you can click socrative.com, okay? And what you're going to do to log in is you hit login. Oops, sorry, I'm going to switch so that you can see my screen. We're going to click login. You guys are students, right? So you're going to click student login. So go ahead and do this with me. If you need to pause the video and get there, do it. But we are going to log in and do your assignment right now for this portion of the video. So you're going to click student login. Okay. Now it's going to depend if you're in my chemistry 4th block or if you're in my chemistry 6th block. If you're in my chemistry 4th block, you're going to type right now in this room, Chem Lewis 4. Okay. Chem stands for chemistry. Lewis is for me. I'm your teacher. And then 4 is for 4th block. So write Chem Lewis 4. If you're in my 6th block, the only thing that changes is you're going to write a 6 at the end. Chem Lewis 6. So this is how you're going to log in for your Do Now tomorrow. This is how you're going to log in for your practices, and how you're going to log in for your quizzes. Okay? So you're going to hit join. Now when you click student ID, I want you to type, or when you type in your student ID, I literally want, what's your ID number? Like, what do you type in for your student ID if you were getting your lunch or something like that? So it might be like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or something like that, right? Your student ID is probably not 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or if it is, that's really cool. But type whatever your student ID number is, okay? When you submit, you should see your name in the top left corner. Make sure that that's your name. And if there's any errors, then please let me know. You can send me an email if you're like, I'm typing my student ID and I'm not getting in there, because sometimes just things go wrong and I can help figure that out on your end. But what I want you to notice as you're doing this, so you might have logged in and already start doing, because these questions, I'm not going to grade you on these questions, so don't stress. This is just a practice run. What you should notice is every time you get an answer, like every time you submit an answer, you're going to get whether you're right or whether you're wrong, and what the explanation is. Please make sure you pay attention to this, because when we do a practice, this is how you learn. So when we do our unit conversion practice next week, and you're doing math in my class, you get to check your answers instantly to see, am I doing these math questions correctly, or am I doing them wrong? And if you are doing them correctly, great, you get to know right away, I'm doing this right. But if you're doing them incorrectly, you'll get to see why. The explanation will come up. You'll get to see the correct work, and you'll get to fix what you have done wrong so that you can do it correct for the next one. That's the whole point of me giving you practice, of me giving you the instant feedback, so you can see like, oh, you know what, I forgot to divide, instead I multiplied. Or, oh, yeah, I see, you're supposed to multiply when the numbers are across from each other. Like, the whole point of me giving you practice is so that you learn, so that you do better on the assessment, which will be the quiz. So hopefully this is a really helpful tool for you, and it is something that we're going to be using the entire year. So get used to it. And be ready to log in with Socrative starting tomorrow morning. When I tell you to do the do now, I mean go into Socrative, type your room name, type your student ID, and answer the questions that I have for you there. Okay? Cool. You're ready to move on to video 3.